Here's today's First Word Daily Devotion.
On March the 12th, we look at Numbers chapter 7, and we're really entering a peaceful time in the life of Israel where things are beginning to settle. The word of the Lord has come. People have a heart to listen and attend and obey His word. The next few chapters in Numbers are really peaceful times. Of course, peace is often short-lived, but we'll enjoy the peace while it's here. Numbers chapter 7 begins this way. On the day when Moses had finished setting up the tabernacle and had anointed and consecrated it with all of its furnishings, and he anointed and consecrated the altar with its utensils, the chiefs of Israel, heads of their fathers' houses, they were the chiefs of the tribe who were over those who were listed, approached. That's important. Approached. And they brought their offerings before the Lord. And here you have a detail of their offerings. And remember this, what type of people is God creating? What type of people is He creating? Well, it's a people of redemption. And how is He forming them? He is forming them, this is important, He is forming them according to His Word. They are the people who are a peculiar people, and what makes them peculiar is they are paying attention and heeding His Word. Now, I want to point this out to you because we do this often as we read. Look at verse 24. We have this on the third day. Now, the third day here is not as significant because we have 12 days that are mentioned. And on these 12 days, the children of Israel do their sacrifices. Look at verse 89. And when Moses went into the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord, this is important, he heard the voice speaking to him from above the mercy seat, and that was on the ark of the testimony from between the two cherubims, and it spoke to him. So in other words, God met with him there. But where is it that God met with him? He met with him from above the mercy seat that was on the ark of testimony. So what type of people is God creating? He is creating a people who are formed by His Word, that are formed through redemption. And redemption comes through sacrifice. But let's turn to Mark chapter 16. Let's look at Mark 16. Here we have this wonderful resurrection passage. Let's just look at this here. Early on the first day of the week. This is why the Bible counts days and seasons. That is a significant reference, is letting us know that this creation is the beginning of all things new. That's not the consummation of all things new. It's simply the beginning of all things new. Sort of like the sun coming up. As soon as the sun comes up, the sun is not at in its full height yet, but you can see the sun coming up, you can see the rays, and that's what the resurrection is. Look at what happens in verse 5. Entering the tomb, they saw a young man sitting. That's important. He's an angel. On the right side, dressed in a white robe, and they were alarmed. So here we have the angel sitting in the tomb of Jesus. Put that image in your mind when you have the image that we read earlier of the Ark of the Covenant. Here is this angel meeting on the place where Jesus lay, the place where sacrifice was accepted, the place where Jesus rose again. But look at verse 7. There you will see him, look at this language, just as he told you. In other words, the word of the Lord is still the point of emphasis. How did Jesus rise? Well, he rose according to his word. Now, I want to encourage you here. You have a footnote in the ESV Everyday Bible that says some of the earliest manuscripts do not include Mark 16, 9 through 20. And some of you are saying, well, why is this even in here? Is this inerrant, or is this an error, we should say? The answer to that is no, and here's my take on it. I'm not certain that this is an original ending of Mark. I think that the original ending has been lost, and so the Gospel of Mark ends sort of abruptly, and they leave trembling and afraid. And so I believe that this is not original here. And so what do we do with it then? Well, we have some of the earliest manuscripts don't include it. And so what we do as believers who claim the Bible is inerrant, we claim that it is inerrant in its original manuscripts. But here's the thing, we don't have the original manuscripts. But what we have is a testimony of the original manuscripts. We have the Bible in its original form with more certainty than we have any other ancient document. It's almost a 99.999% certainty that what you have in your hand is indeed the entire Word of God as it was delivered in its original manuscripts. There's all kind of archaeological evidence that proves it. And so we have this note here to let all the skeptics know that we are after the Word of God. We are those people who adhere to the Word of God. And by us putting footnotes, some manuscripts say this, early manuscript evidence says this, we're letting the skeptics know that we have absolutely nothing to hide. In other words, you can absolutely trust the Bible in your hands. And so let's look at this. Here we have in Mark chapter 16 and verse 15. This is the Great Commission passage in Mark. There again, and this is an important part for us, though this verse may be in question as to whether or not Mark wrote it, look at this. The Great Commission is not in question because it is all through the Bible, not just at Matthew, not just here at Mark, Luke, or John, but it's all through the Bible. And so we have the Great Commission passage. Go into all the world, proclaim the gospel to the whole creation. And then we end our reading today on Psalm 67. Psalm 67 is a prayer, and the prayer, pay attention to it, it's a prayer for the Great Commission. May God be gracious to us, bless us, make His face shine upon us. So what? Verse 2, that your way may be known on the earth, your saving power among all nations. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. Let the nations be glad, sing for joy. That you judge the people with equity and guide the nations upon the earth. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. The earth has yielded its increase. God our God shall bless us. God shall bless us. Let all the ends of the earth fear Him. It's a reminder for us here at our Proverbs 11 and verse 30 reading. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and whoever captures souls is wise. We have a message to declare, and the message is Jesus has risen, Jesus is alive, and this news is to spread through the whole creation.